Urgent, Niners fan, look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest Niners news, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Ex-NFL cornerback urges Pittsburgh Steelers to pull off shocking trade for Pro Bowl quarterback. The Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback woes have left some analysts proposing bold plans to fix the position. Former NFL cornerback Jason McCourty is the latest to throw his hat into the ring with a crazy idea. McCourty urged the Steelers to make a call to the San Francisco 49ers and trade for quarterback Brock Purdy. Now, if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you've already traded for DK Metcalf and gave him a big contract, McCourty said on ESPN. You need to have somebody to throw the ball to them. If you're the Steelers, why not think about calling up the 49ers and John Lynch and saying, I don't know where you guys are at right now. Give us a shot at Brock Purdy. We'll let him be able to distribute to all the weapons we have here in Pittsburgh. McCourty's idea is great in theory, but Purdy is not available to any public knowledge. The 49ers do need to give him a contract, and it might be the deal that first reaches $60 million per year among quarterbacks. But even then, the 49ers have the flexibility to franchise tag him and control his rights. The Steelers should not expect this to become an option at any time this offseason. Purdy is the 49ers quarterback this year no matter what, especially since he is on the last year of his rookie contract. Pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Niners news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Rasul Douglas is the perfect low-cost free agent 49ers can sign right now. A stopgap free agent pickup on the cheap would be a good idea. The 49ers need a starting caliber cornerback, and it just so happens Rasul Douglas is available and likely cheap. The San Francisco 49ers have been notably inactive on the free agent market, with the bulk of their pickups addressing special teams and little else. In the wake of a sizable chunk of player departures to enter 2025, it's fair to wonder how the Niners will even put together a big enough 90-man offseason roster when offseason workouts begin in spring. Sure, there's the NFL draft this April, but trusting a large cast of first-year pros to carve out roles is a tall order. Despite the inactivity, General Manager John Lynch can still go shopping, even if he's constrained by San Francisco's newfound efforts to cut costs, and there's one free agent cornerback who'd make a lot of sense. 49ers should go after Rasul Douglas in free agency. The 49ers need a starting caliber cornerback after losing both Charvarius Ward and Isaac Yiadom to the free agent market. Two of their three top spots are filled by Diamador Lenoir and Renardo Green, but there aren't exactly any notable names behind them on the depth chart. That's where now former Buffalo Bills cornerback Rasul Douglas comes into play. Douglas will turn 30 years old this offseason, elderly in terms of defensive backs, and the 122.0 passer rating allowed when targeted last season doesn't exactly improve his stock value. That said, he was a turnover-generating machine the previous 3 years, notching 14 during that time frame, and his fit within a zone-style scheme is preferable amid the return of Niners defensive coordinator Robert Saleh. True, San Francisco is aiming to get younger and cheaper. At this stage in his career, Douglas likely wouldn't break the bank and might be had for something as simple as a one-year deal, allowing the 49ers to at least plug the void while they seek long-term options. Speaking of those options, it wouldn't be a shock to see the Niners use at least one of their 11 picks in the draft on a rookie corner, perhaps as early as round 1. But it's common for young defensive backs to struggle transitioning to the pro ranks. Opponents are bigger, stronger, and faster than anything encountered at the collegiate level, and the routes and schemes are far more complex too. Grabbing someone like Douglas on the cheap would safeguard against San Francisco having to rely on an inexperienced defensive back in a starting role. Former 49ers cornerback signs with the Detroit Lions Ya-Sin came to the 49ers last offseason, along with a group of veterans who no longer are on the team. The 49ers just lost another veteran. Cornerback Rock Ya-Sin has signed with the Detroit Lions, according to the NFL Network's Mike Garafolo. Ya-Sin spent last season with the 49ers and appeared in 13 games but started none. Mostly he played on the worst special teams unit in the NFL, so it makes sense why the 49ers let him go. Ya-Sin came to the 49ers last offseason along with a group of veterans who no longer are on the team. Those veterans are Leonard Floyd, Malek Collins, and Devondre Campbell. It's unclear who wanted those players in the first place, but last offseason, the 49ers defensive coordinator was Nick Sorensen, and their assistant head coach was Brandon Staley. They probably were partially responsible for those signings. Now those two coaches are gone and have been replaced by Robert Saleh and Gus Bradley, respectively, and those two have no connection to Campbell, Collins, Floyd, or Yasin, so they're out. Saleh and Bradley will find their own guys. Last season, the 49ers were coming off a Super Bowl loss, so they filled out their roster with journeyman veterans, a plan which backfired. This year, the plan is to fill out the roster with cheap rookies and hope for better results. Look for the 49ers to draft a cornerback to compete with Trey Brown and Darrell Luter Jr. The winner of the competition will be the number 3 cornerback behind Diamador Lenoir and Renardo Green. John Lynch, we have big things coming our way. Had to clear room. The 49ers have said goodbye to a number of players since the start of the league year, and general manager John Lynch said on Wednesday that it has been terrible to see those players depart, but he also offered some positive thoughts. For fans worried that the team is preparing to take a step backward, Lynch spoke to reporters at Stanford's Pro Day and said that those fans should know we have a plan to restock the roster. Lynch noted that the 49ers have a lot of picks in the upcoming draft. They currently hold 11 selections, and that the team is looking long range when it comes to their financial planning. The bottom line is you're always looking at years out, Lynch said via Matt Barrows of The Athletic. Come on, and we forecast it. And we've got some big things coming our way, and you have to clear the requisite room to be able to do that. And you don't want to get to a point where you have to do things to keep your roster afloat. You want to have that flexibility. Quarterback Brock Purdy's contract is one of the big things that the 49ers have to deal with, and Lynch declined to elaborate on where things stand on that front while discussing what's still to come for the 49ers this offseason. And now, Niners. Fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for Niners. I'll be back any moment with more Niners news.